When I was in elementary school, whenever my dad drove me to school, he would always put on the Beatles' Sgt. Pepper's album for us to listen to. I still vividly remember those times in the car. This music brings me way back. Guess you could say that I am. No. There's something comforting about watching the light dance in the turquoise water, don't you think? My dad always stressed the importance of math and science. In his generation, the ones who were successful were either doctors or engineers. I once failed a biology test and cried. He said it was okay. Home was my favorite place to be when I was little. We used to live in a large house in Florida next to a lake and a few families of ducks. I still remember the house vividly and sometimes stroll through it in my dreams. Man, it looks so different now. Those were some of the best years of my life. If I had the choice, I would have stayed in the house for as long as I could. My mom wanted us to. That's me looking sassy as ever. I guess I've always been surrounded by computers. It's a game called Gregory and the Hot Air Balloon. Have you heard of it? Really? Haha, I used to play it all the time. Guess it wasn't that popular. My middle name is Melody, for real. It's no coincidence that music is a huge part of my life. Fertilize was one of the first real songs I learned how to play. I think it's been roughly 11 years now. For some reason, my parents weren't as intent on making me take lessons like many other kids at that age. They just let me do my own thing, which has its benefits, of course, and drawbacks. Development was pretty slow for me initially. I once had a friend over who was actually able to play with both of her hands, while I was stuck trying to figure out. Mary had a little lamb with one. It was frustrating. I guess technically my mom tried to teach me a little. That didn't end too well. This is the best part of the house. Had the piano and fireplace and everything. That's me from all those years ago. Haven't changed much except for the hair. Oh. That's my mom. Hey, you weren't supposed to see that. I thought I put it away. I used to have a lot of toys. A lot of them. My dad spoiled me rotten and pretty much gave me anything I asked for. Throwing toys into the closet always left me with a heavy feeling in my chest. After regularly breathing life into them during the many hours of playtime, it was hard for me to convince myself that my toys hadn't always been alive in their own way. So instead of confining them to the closet, I took care to keep them in places where they could still see the sunlight, let them take turns sleeping next to me on the bed. I struggle a lot more with empathy now. Sometimes I wish I could remember how to feel sorry for inanimate objects. I was really into animals when I was little. We had this huge animal encyclopedia that I read from cover to cover. It was my favorite. Yup, the Encyclopedia of Awesome Animals. You know, I used to draw nothing but animals. One day my mom was watching me draw and asked me if I could do people for a change. I only draw people now. Oh, that's Sushi. She looks so young in that photo. Well, I didn't name her. My mom always named the pets. She used to tell me that whenever I named our pets, something bad would always happen to them. I believed that for a long time. Yeah, actually, out of all the pets we've had, she's been with us the longest. Still very sprightly, too. You know, when Sushi was little, she was this hairball of energy. She would just run around the halls of our house for no reason whatsoever. I heard from somewhere that animals were capable of seeing ghosts, so I believed that maybe she was running after them. Even in her old age, there are moments when she would suddenly jolt alert and sprint to the other side of the room, as if possessed by an enormous burst of energy. Whenever I see her do this now, I wonder why she still chases after those ghosts, and whether I sometimes do the same. What are you doing here? There's nothing for you here. Why do you keep coming back? Why won't you just let it go? Then go away. You really want to know what's in here, huh? Fine, you can go ahead. I usually avoid talking about my mom with other people, but I suppose it's never too late to start. See, the thing is, I haven't talked to my mom in a long while, and I don't even think I'll ever be able to have a normal conversation with her again. I'm sure I have some friends who think that she's dead or something, and she's not, at least not in the physical sense. We used to be pretty close when I was young. She would do things like take me to parks and make me my favorite mac and cheese and kiss me goodbye and sing me to sleep the same way all good moms would. But at the same time she said and did some really hurtful things that I can't block out of my mind. Things that made a large dent in my self-esteem. And maybe I'm just a crappy person, but I can't forgive because I can't forget and I can't just let it go. That being said, sometimes I wish I could talk to her, like really talk to her, about things moms and daughters talk about, but she has changed a lot over the years. And so have I. Maybe one day, when circumstances are better for the both of us, I'll finally have the resolve to close the distance between us, but for now it's enough for us to keep those good memories stowed away in the attics in our minds. Thank you for listening to my prattle. It means so much to me.